and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL. And today, this pattern, well, let's face it, this pattern is something I've done a number of times, so it was no big surprise, or there was no like awesome insight or anything else like that. But it was made in just about an hour's time. Just maybe a couple minutes longer than an hour, but about an hour to make it. But what I was kind of saying in the pattern making video is I wanted, because these colors are relatively close, I wanted to do something kind of special with the fade. I wanted it so that way, normally this pattern has two distinct parts, right? There's the part here at the top that we're making where it kind of goes in three and has little dots in the middle. And then the next section is another three colors. Now, quite frequently in the past, what I've done is if I did it with 6 colors, it might be 3 hot, 3 cold, or with the rainbow, which is of course 3 hot, 3 cold, and have these sides separated. But this is a fade of 6 colors, all basically in this field of red. And so the first 3 are going medium to light, and then the next section is just a shade above that and then going all the way to the dark. And it makes it blurs the lines between the two different segments, if that makes any sense. It makes the whole thing kind of flow as one design, and that's what I kind of wanted to mess with and see how that would look. And overall, I say I have to like it. The colors of the fade aren't like a perfect blend. I kind of feel like a couple of the shades are like not quite, but it was pretty good. And like I said, the whole reason for these projects is that I have like a 447 swatch bunch of colors, like every color my supplier has. I have a small bit of string wrapped around a bobbin, can look up the number and make my order. Well, I've decided that I don't necessarily need some of every single 447 colors. I've reduced it down to a much more manageable, easier to keep track, easier to order 115 colors. So in the course of this month or more, I don't know how long it'll take, I need to get a swatch of all 115 colors. And so I'm not sure what kind of combinations I'm going to use to do this. I'm not sure what kind of patterns will go into all of this, but this was one of the groups of colors that I had, and I thought I could do something interesting with it. And yeah, despite having made this pattern numbers of times in the past, I had no clue as to what sequence the colors start from. Like once the pattern's going, I can just make the pattern, and that's part of it. Was easy. But getting to know which colors start at what point, that takes a little bit more work. That takes getting a pattern generator out and doing it. And I thought this was a great teachable moment where I could show you how basically normally I wouldn't have finished the rest of the pattern. I would have just gotten the first little section in, got the colors in there, figured out what was going on, and then I would be done. But I finished the pattern because in case there was anybody out there who wants to go to my website and get the pattern. Oh, by the way, that was the completed of the first, and now we're going into the second section. But I made the rest of the pattern in case anybody else was curious and wasn't familiar with this one and wanted to give it a try. Go for it. It's over on my website, AKAAWOL.com. You just go into the tutorials. I'm sure you'll find it. But yeah, making up the little pattern made this so much easier for me. I didn't have to guess. I didn't have to do some kind of weird trial and error, which was kind of a method of mine from a long time ago, like trying to put a rainbow in there and then just being happy that it's hot and cold separated, but not getting it into the order that I had originally wanted. which was kind of comical. I lived with that for a while. It used to be particularly harder back when I had to do this with color pencils, right? So yeah, there was either do it with color pencils or just cut up some string and go for it. And there were times where the cutting up string and going for it just seemed like a viable alternative. Back before I had the computing power to make out a pattern. So yeah, but I do like this a lot. I do think this is a fun pattern, a fun way of doing it with these colors. I still have, so there was what, 6, 12, 18 reds, but there's 3 groups of 6 each. And so I have 2 more kumis in red. And so I'm really trying to figure out, like, what are the next ones going to be? I was thinking maybe something along the lines of an arrowhead for the next one. And then I'm still trying to find a pattern suitable to kind of have fun with for the third. I have no idea. I have not figured it out yet. But I'm kind of stoked about the whole notion, like making up patterns based on the colors, like having the colors first. I always complain to, like, people, like, say, do you have a pattern for green? And it's like, that's just a silly thing that we talk about because it's actually happened. But I'm actually looking for patterns that will play well with a fade, a 6-color fade. So that's what I'm up against. I would tell you to send in suggestions, but for the majority of you watching this video, you're seeing it probably a month later than it was actually recorded, right? So if I tell you to give me a suggestion, I won't see it in time for the videos that I'll be making. So it's like my members, if you're a member and you're watching my video like right after I made it, awesome. Then, throw in your 2 cents, tell me if there's a pattern that you think goes particularly well for a fade. I'm willing to try it. But just a heads up, a little peek behind the curtain. My YouTube members get a chance to see everything early. I film early so that way I don't have the stress of I gotta have a video out tomorrow. What am I gonna do? I fight hard to make sure that I have a little bit of room for leeway in case my wife is an editor for a publication, and sometimes they'll like send her stuff like a chance to go review a hotel or something, and that can really throw off my ability to record anything. If given the choice, yeah, I'm going to the hotel, I'm gonna go use the pool, and I'm gonna have a good time, and yeah. So they are early. If you want to see the videos early, you can become a member just like these people did. So yeah, special thanks to them. They helped me get the floss. I just had a recent order of floss where I bought something like 1,500 skeins, and I can laugh about that because it turns out, as far as my orders go, it's kind of a smaller order. There's just something about that just absolutely I think it's hilarious. Like, that's a small order. I know a lot of people who make bracelets and stuff who would never make that big of an order, and yeah, it is a smaller one. It's not even like the 8 kg one or anything like that. I don't know how much it'll weigh. When it comes in, I'll weigh it. Oh, and that's going to be another weird thing. Like, from your perspective, you will have seen the unboxing of that string, but I kind of, for scheduling reasons, put it before this, and it's not even here yet. So yeah, another little peek behind the curtain. The string's not here yet, but you will have had the video will have been out for at least a week or so. So yeah, I'm kind of counting on the string getting here in time to do the unboxing and make sure it's all there. In the video, yeah, it's all out of sequence. It gets really weird, a little bit stressful. I kind of like to have my videos intact and ready to go, without having this kind of a pressure, because if something goes wrong, I don't know what I'll put in for that day. So it is what it is. So yeah, we're past the middle point. You can see how it fades from like the darkest down to the lightest. I think that is a really cool effect. This would have looked good really with any colors. Like the red fade is just kind of, I like red, but blue, green, whatever you want to try it with, you can give that a shot. Again, rainbow turns out really good with this one. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do with it. Oh, and I did think it was kind of interesting. So in the very lightest color, like the little diamonds in the center, have the darkest go in between that. But in the second section, you'll notice that it's just the next darker color. It's not even a huge contrast. So it really makes the secondary areas just really kind of, unless you're really studying it, it just sort of just fades. It just does a thing where the colors sort of blur together and there's no contrast whatsoever. And again, I think that kind of makes it interesting. It's just something kind of different, I guess. So there you go. If you choose to make it and you want to share it with me, Discord, absolutely. We have a kind of fun community over there. We share all kinds of images. People have shared tattoos or their pets or whatever else. Just kind of fun stuff that we don't really get to on the YouTube itself. Mainly, my channel is about string. It would be weird if I made a video about my tattoos. It just doesn't seem like that makes sense. But on Discord, I can show off what I got, and it's kind of cool. Still got a little ways to go. Like I said, this is not an unfamiliar pattern to me. I think it was in the no pattern, no problem. I did one of these and kind of just showed like how it just kind of makes sense, and how I kind of came about discovering it. But that's okay. It's fun to make patterns. It's fun to try them in different ways. And yeah, for as many times I made this, you would think that I would know the sequence of each of the colors, but not for this fade. And besides, I've gotten so easy by having the templates. It is so easy just to throw together a pattern and make sure you have it right, as opposed to putting the colors together, realize you got it wrong, and then having to undo the knots. I swear it'll be a whole lot easier if you're into wanting to make this stuff. Try out the pattern generator. Well, it's not even really a generator. It's just a blank template that you can fill in the spaces, and I swear it's so much easier than making mistakes. It's worth learning, if nothing else. And if you want, you can then print it out and put it on the clipboard and go at it, because that would be the easiest way if you're really kind of new to it and you're confused. So yeah, we're getting into the last segment. You can kind of see that it's back to the light. It makes 3 of those diamonds. Oh, it's like a figure 8 in the center. Did you notice that? Which I kind of like, because in like the Chinese culture, the number 8 is auspicious or lucky. So there's an 8 there. There's kind of like an 8 in the other segment, but it's kind of has long antennas, I guess, coming off of it, which is a little bit weird. And then it's really not like an 8 at the ends. It's because it's got 3 circles instead of just 2. So, but it's still pretty. It's a good looking bracelet. I'm really pleased with it. Still though, I have no idea what I'm doing with these other ones. I'm probably gonna just think about it. Tomorrow is my day off, so I'm going to try to relax, and trying to relax is typically me trying to think, could do this, could do that. Really dwell on the whole notion of what could come of it. So yeah, we'll try to figure something out. But yeah, really getting close to the end. Want to just thank you guys for hanging out this long. You know, you made it this far through the video. That is awesome. If you could hit the like button, it'll help the whole YouTube to think I'm doing something nice over here, and maybe shows a couple extra people what's going on. So that would be awesome. If you got friends that make bracelets, show them my channel. Let them know. You know, make all kinds of stuff here. If you need easier things, let me know that too. I have no idea. I make a lot of stuff. I don't know necessarily if it needs to be easier. So, all right. Well, thanks for hanging out. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.